peer-reviewed publications and presented her work at international conferences. Her technical expertise spans molecular biology, microbiology culture techniques, and analytical methods. Recognized for her contributions, she has received prestigious grants, including NRL Ideation Grant and NEC Ignite Startup Grant. Dr. Parhi is passionate about innovations in functional food and gut microbiome research. We heartily welcome you, ma'am. Now, let me also introduce the chairperson for this session, that is Dr. Vaishali Gargade ma'am. She is the HOD of Microbiology Department in WCPT Solapur since 2008. She has also completed her PhD under Dr. Kadam and also completed one of the minor projects. She is working in the same institute and also guides students for their projects and research work. Welcome again, ma'am. Now, let's move forward to the session by Dr. Priyanka Parhi.
Can you share?
Kopika ma'am के पास है. Ma'am last बात.
Present. Please maintain the silence. Forward, backward. And this is right.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I'm audible feedback. Yes. So a very good morning. My name is Dr. Priyanka Parhi. I currently work as Chief Technical Officer and Senior Research Executive for Mr. Biologist LLP and our sister company, Vinanga Media. Mr. Biologist LLP, I will describe later what we do. We are basically a service-based industry. Last four presentation, pay attention. Let's start with this. So, as described by you as well, my PhD topic was probiotic, and I'm very passionate about functional food and how we can leverage Indian traditional based functional food into developing our own indigenous products. So today's topic is personalized nutrition and gut microbiome, in which we will look into role of probiotics, prebiotics, and an entirely new concept which many of you might not be familiar or may be familiar. That is postbiotics. Okay. So first, how many of you are familiar with the concept or term gut microbiome? Just raise hands. I'm not going to ask follow-up questions. So, our entire body composition, when we start looking into medical sciences hundreds of years back, it was basically what is on the body. But now we are moving into an era where we are finding out we are not a single cell body. We are multicellular, plus we have inside bacteria, not only bacteria, now we are looking into fungus, even viruses, which are going inside and outside of it. So it's entire called human microbiome, which is more than 100 trillion of bacteria living within and outside of us. So if we describe we are an ecosystem in ourselves. So in that there is a core area which is called gut microbiome. Bacteria which is living inside our mouth, inside our intestinal, which is small, and large intestine. So, as I said, 100 million trillion microorganisms which influence digestion, immunity, and with the help of studies regarding gut and microbiome axis, they also influence our mental health. Okay, so first topic is dysbiosis, which is a microbiome imbalance, and this microbiome imbalance is has been linked to a lot of metabolic diseases in India. Obesity and type 2 diabetes is very prevalent if we look into stats. Absolutely 50% of people are either suffering from type 2 diabetes or either suffering from obesity. And then if we look into deeper things, these two diseases are very narrowly linked with our food lifestyle choices. Then we go to gastrointestinal diseases, which is IBS and IBT. A lot of us has experience and will experience in future whenever we eat outside or eat something which is out of routine, it causes irritation. So, and if it becomes chronic, it turns into IBS and IBD. Then we move on to depression and anxiety. It is a neurological disorder. And now currently papers are coming out which says that this crisis can be linked into depression and anxiety. And also autoimmune diseases like allergies and rheumatoid arthritis. I'm not going to describe all the diseases because, well, if I look into that, then my whole presentation will be over. Okay. So the next concept is personalized nutrition. Now we are more focused on what we eat and how we eat. So when we want to check our gut microbiome, it also provides us an insight what is good for us and what is bad for us. And again, earlier we used to think that okay, a certain community or a certain part of geographic or demographic people can eat a certain food and live healthier and longer. But that is not the case. Now we know through the gut microbiome analysis that every individual have their own specific needs. So that's why we are moving to personalized nutrition. So what personalized nutrition? What will be best in future? Not now. In future, it will be a dietary approach tailored to individual genetic profile, microbial biome composition and lifestyle factors, and plus where we are living and which climate or which geographical or social economical strata we are living in. Why we need it? Because people respond differently to the same diet due to variation in gut microbiome and metabolism. I have given a very good example. Some individuals experience weight gain on a high fiber diet, while others lose weight due to microbiome differences. If we look into it, you and your friend might be eating same pizza every day, every week, and your friend might not be gaining weight, but you are. That is the difference of metabolism and your gut microbiome profile. The next is advancement in micro personalized nutrition. Till we are at a level where we can sequence entire gut microbiome. How much interpretation we can get, that is an entirely different story. But at least we can sequence and do a peripheral examination of what kind of microbiome we have. Then the second is AI intelligence based dietary. If you Google Biome or Theory or Day2, these are the upcoming platforms in which either all of them are paid anyway. But here you can put your own lifestyle choices, own gut microbiome profile, and they will tailor made a diet for you, which sounds amazing at the amount of data we have now, and also which might not be accurate. The reason I will tell you in next few different slides. Okay. Now we dig deeper to microbiome and its role. Okay. One of the things via metagenomics we have learned that people from different geographical regions have different microbiome, majority different microbiome. And in 10 years, a lot of Indian microbiome is studied. India is unique because we have so many geographical changes and so many traditional cultural differences between our food products. So the way we eat our food has also influenced. So all of previous data which was present on the intranet or internet is based on Western or Asian data, not Indian data. So Indian data or Indian gut microbiome profile is very new to us, to scientists who are studying the functional or how to develop products based on our gut microbiome are very low. So this is something which maybe some of you sitting here will come across in next 10 years and look into it or may develop a product based on our Indian gut microbiome. And with the release of PM Modi's 10,000, nobody watches news. Come on, finish my sentence. What just PM Modi released genomic data set? Oh God, okay. Most of genetic marker for Indians was consolidated in few scientists. Now it has been released on a larger platform. So people like me, people like all of us can access it and use it for doing better research based on our own genetic marker. Kindly please look into it. It's a good space to learn about Indian genetic, how we are built. Okay? So major gut microbiota, this is basically Indian microbiome because I've been studying for a longer time and consuming a lot of research papers which is coming out of India. This is based on this. So a major gut microbiota is formulated which is beneficial but it's linked to obesity. Key role is fermentation and sorting fatty acid production. It also maintains gut barrier maintenance. So if you eat a lot of fiber, so there is high chance that you have okay, Faecilibacterium, which is very common in Indians. Then the next bacteria or group of bacteria which you will have is bacteriolytes, which are known for polysaccharide breakdown and also gut immune regulation. So if you again eat a lot of fiber which is vegetable based, then there is high chances that you have parabacteriotypes which is common in Indians who eat a lot of vegetables, especially in south and in western region of India. Then the third major type is actinobacteria, which is based on probiotic benefits. Of course, in probiotics, then there is sugar. So digestion of complex sugar, and these are known for antimicrobial properties. So bifidobacterium Breve and bifidum is common to every one of us, but bifidobacterium and pollinesa is common to Indian microbiome because we eat a lot of fermented milk and fermented plant-based products, especially in Northeast. Then the last and potentially harmful bacteria we have is proteobacteria, which is an opportunistic pathogenic bacteria. Opportunistic means, huh?
If the conditions are favorable, then it will attack.
Yes. So if a condition, so for example, E. coli and salmonella are very happy to live within us, but once we have weaker immune system or eat something rubbish, they will attack our immune system and instantly make us sick. Okay, so what are the impacts? I'm giving you key roles and example. So impact is, though it suggests supports digestion, but it is linked to obesity and metabolical disorders in Indians. Then bacteroides, it's high levels in fiber-rich diets and also links to low levels linked to obesity. It means, suppose even though if you are eating high levels of fiber from vegetables, but you are not able to support these kind of bacteria, uh, and they are low in your gut microbiome, so it is that you have higher chances of gaining obesity or fat percentage. Then acinobacteria, this is a good bacteria which supports gut health and immunity, and but its low level are linked to IBD and allergies. These is based on Western diet. We are very not sure about Indian diet because we are still studying it. Then proteobacteria, as I said, very notorious bacteria which happy to live inside us, but once we are down, they will attack our immune system, causing inflammation, IBD, and a lot of infectious diseases. Okay, now next we go to some of how the brown affect our body or specifically gut. So this is I'm going to suggest only three or talk about three, which is digestion, immunity, and metabolism. So when a bacteria, specifically gut bacteria, for example, Lactobacillus acidophilus. Lactobacillus, as its name suggests, it digests lactose. So any product which contains lactose, disaccharide essentially, a disaccharide present in milk and a lot of milk-based product will aid in cultivation of Lactobacillus acidophilus, especially if you are taking in fermented form. So what does this bacteria do, or a species Lactobacillus does? What it does is it breaks down dietary fibers, converting into short-chain fatty acids such as bitrate, acetate, and propionate. And all of these can easily pass through our intestinal line and aid in our nutrition. Second is immunity. One of the good example is Akkermansia multifida. This bacteria, though present in low quality, and I think in Indians it is very low, but it still produces antimicrobial peptides, which are also called bacteriocins. And this bacteriocins not only help these kind of bacteria to fight abundance of E. coli or any other opportunistic bacteria, but it also regulates T cells and promote gut bacterial integrity. Gut bacterial integrity is it strengthens your intestinal lining so that other opportunistic bacteria cannot adhere to it or colonize it. Third is metabolism. Metabolism is, for example, I'll give you an example, as gut dysbiosis has been linked to obesity and metabolic syndrome. So, getting more probiotics or bacteria which assist you in these kind of this kind of nutrition can influence your fat storage and insulin sensitivity. So, for example, even now also a lot of people are. So just imagine a world where you have don't scientists are still working, but you can get a product which you can consume like water. It will assist in your insulin sensitivity. aiding in your diabetes. So that is a future we are looking forward to and working towards it. The whole idea of studying gut microbiome with personalized nutrition is to assist us in easier way of living. Okay, so I have explained gut microbiome. The gut microbiome topic is very each and every microbiome. It will take more than 2 days. So I would recommend go through a lot of research is already available. Go through what is Indian gut microbiome because we live in a specific area, so we should be aware and educated about our own bodies and specifically own gut microbiome. Coming back to personalized nutrition and gut health. What is the concept of personalized nutrition? A dietary approach, but it consists of three major topics, which is gut microbiome composition. Again, it will lead to sequencing, metagenomic study of your gut microbiome. Then your own genetic makeup. It's not metagenomic study of your gut microbiome, it's your own genetic makeup. And metabolic response. Metabolic response, again, it comes under proteomic studies. So, if you are eating something, suppose you have taken 1 gram of glucose, how your body is responding. My own body and some random person's body will respond differently to that 1 gram of glucose based on our own genetic marker and what we ate prior or how we are living our life and what kind of microbiome we have. So that slight difference usually influence our own glucose levels in our blood. So if that slight difference can influence a single marker in our body, so just imagine the amount of data we are producing, and this whole all three approaches can be collaborated, and we can build a system around it, which will tailor-make a dietary approach for in each of us. Currently, these kind of techniques is very expensive since metagenomics, even though it's very thorough, but it's not easily accessible. A lot of people still can't interpret or finally define what is the fine tunes of metagenomics, and same goes for genetics and proteomics also. Why it matters? Again, different individual metabolize the same food differently due to variation in their gut microbiome. What I just said. Then precision nutrition aims to optimize gut health, metabolism, and disease prevention. Disease prevention is always an aim, but if we could optimize our gut health and metabolism, there will be no need to prevent any diseases because we are already healthy. But this is the future we are aiming for. Okay, this is a how me and my team work essentially because we have a project around it. So this is a microbiome profile based on the data we have collected. This is the nutritional adjustment and health implication. So for example, if you have low bifidobacterium levels, then you have to increase your prebiotic fiber, which is inulin, FOS, fructooligosaccharides, galacto-oligosaccharides, and all of these prebiotic is not essential for you to mix a powder and drink. You can easily eat a lot of bananas, easily consume a lot of onion and garlic in your food, and it will automatically increase your prebiotic content. What will happen after taking a lot of bananas? It will support your gut balance, improve digestion, and enhance immune function. If and again, if we look into our traditional knowledge of food system, in our common household also, whenever we have upset stomach, our own grandmothers, mothers, father, grandfather, aunts, uncle, they force fed us bananas. Why? Because it automatically provides us with prebiotic fiber. So even if we have low number of bifidobacterium, that will digest the polysaccharide in the banana and stabilize your gut for that time period. You have to continuously eat bananas. That's why usually a lot of people who are health conscious do take bananas. A is potassium levels, it helps in potassium levels. Second is prebiotic factor. I hope this one concept is easy and understandable. And then the second one is high fermentatives or bacterial. Again, I said, even though it's a good bacteria, but it has been linked to obesity. So what we do, we reduce processed foods and refined sugar and increase polyphenol-rich foods. So we don't need high, we need in a particular ratio. So, for example, processed foods are all of your pizza, burgers, whatever you eat outside which is pre-made, even the frozen food section. You know what you get fries and you fry it yourself, and then it's still considered as processed foods. So you cut back, you stop taking a lot of sugar, which is not essentially sugar, which is fructose syrup, as in, so you cut back on that, and you start taking a lot of polyphenol-rich foods, which is our teas, coffees, berries, and dark chocolate. So what happens? Even though it's linked to diabetes, but a stabilization of these bacteria not only will produce extra more energy from food, but also aid in your weight loss management, which is fat management. Then, if you go to the third one, which is high levels of Prevotella, if you have high levels of Prevotella, then increase consumption of whole grains and plant-based fibers, which is legumes, oats, and quinoa. Oats and quinoa are very fancy, so let's consider ragi, barley, which are our indigenous grains, which are complex by nature. And if you eat those, what will happen is, again, the good example is the moment you eat a single piece of pizza or a single piece of maida, it will instantly convert into glucose. So it will rise your glucose level for a very short duration, and once it's metabolized within 15 minutes, you feel fatigue. But when you eat whole grains, especially ragi and barley, what happens is it has been associated with better glucose metabolism because it is slowly digested, it is slowly break down. Bacteria takes more time to digest it, and the instant hit you won't get, but slowly glucose will be released in your body, which will provide you with better glucose metabolism. Then we come to a very interesting bacteria which produces trimethylamine N oxide. This causes oxidative stress inside us, for which we have to again take a lot of polyphenol-rich food. So let's not do that. Let's just decrease red meat intake. Red meat is goat meat essentially, which Indians eat. Then beef, because beef contains a lot of fat content and it's not easily digestible. On the other hand, which is called a Mediterranean diet, a balance of olives, fish, and vegetables will reduce the trimethylene N oxide producing bacteria. High TMO is always linked to increased heart disease risk. Again, high trimethylene N oxide producers are from Western diet, not from our Indian diet. So if we want to confirm this, we need to look into our Indian gut microbiome and how this correlates with our own body. Then low Amentia multivaria. Again, I said it reduces bacteriocins. To increase this concentration, we have to eat a lot of polyphenols and resistant starch, which is pomegranate and whole grains. What it will do, it will support gut barrier integrity and reduce inflammation. And as I go down, you can see a single bacteria is not responsible for your entire health. There is a bacterial, and as we study further, bacterial, fungal, and viral consortium which support our optimal health. So, as I said, gut microbiome is a composition. We need to look into each and every factor to provide an optimal result. And there are two bacteria, but I will share this PPT. You can look into it individually. It will take a lot of time anyway. Okay, so in personalized gut health, I have given you two examples because Indian diet cannot be described in one line. So I am only going to take two well-known diets, which is Western diet, high fat and low fiber. They do eat a lot of high fat consumption. Beef is also considered a high fat diet. and they take low fiber. So what happens? It causes reduction in microbiota diversity and promote dysbiosis. So a lot of Westerners suffer from heart diseases, type 2, type 3, type 1 diabetes, obesity, IBS and IBP. Then the next diet is Mediterranean diet, which is rich in fiber and polyphenols. So what does it does? Increase bifidobacterium lactobacillus levels. So if I say that Western diet is not good and Mediterranean is good, I will be telling a lie. Because a lot of Westerners who will eat this diet are still surviving and still doing well. And a lot of people who are constantly eating this kind of diet, they are again on cusp of getting type 2, type 3 diabetes. Why? Because their gut microbiome is different, their genetic makeup is different. So as an Indian, if we think, okay, we will eat Mediterranean diet, it might not work because our gut microbiome is different. So diet is a huge factor in gut microbiome. Then genetics. Genetics determines how effectively someone digests certain food. For example, the good example is lactose tolerance. A lot of Asian countries cannot digest lactose, so they take soy milk. From there only soy milk is popularized. But we can digest. A lot of Indians can digest lactose. So it's not that milk is bad and soy milk is good, or soy milk is bad and milk is good. It's just that we can digest it, so we can get maximum nutrition from milk itself. So do not need to switch to soy milk. Again, as for Asians, as they can digest properly the soy milk, they are getting maximum benefit. But if we are interchanging it, soy milk has been linked to excessive production of estrogen, which is not good for males, especially males, because it affects the reproduction ability of human males. So it's better to switch or to study our own lifestyle rather than just following the trend. Then we come to lifestyle. Exercise, though, promote gut microbial diversity and stress and sleep deprivation negatively affect gut health and via the gut-brain axis. But it can be switched. A lot of people can sleep 5 hours and still in optimal health, and a lot of people do exercise, they run a lot, but it causes them muscle atrophy, or they lose a lot of their stamina eventually. Why? Because again, it's linked to that microbiome. What type of microbiome you have? If you run for 10 days and if you're still not seeing any effect, so it's better to get a consultation from a professional nutritionist or a professional doctor who deals with it, rather than forcing yourself to run 21 days and losing your calf muscles. So, a lifestyle and genetics and diet, these three things are interrelated. These three things are affecting your gut microbiota, and via versa, your gut microbiota is also affecting your diet, genetic, and lifestyle. Okay, so as I said, we will be looking into three major concepts, and I won't take much time in that. I will give you fun examples you can incorporate in your own diet. So first is probiotic. Can anybody tell, did I make this infographic or did I generate it? It's, yes, this is AI generated because you can see a lot of spelling errors. So personalized nutrition is exactly like this. It still looks good, but it's not accurate. You have to go beyond this. Okay? So probiotics, anybody knows the definition? Come on, it's a very easy definition. Anybody? Okay, it's live microorganisms that when consumed in adequate amounts provide health benefits. Majorly found in fermented food, dairy products and supplements. Can anybody give fermented food very particular to Maharashtra? Not curd, it's tak. Tak is rich in lactobacillus because again it's made from milk and it's fermented overnight. Tak is a very good source of your short chain fatty acids, your lactobacillus, and in some amount of E. coli, but again, small amount of E. coli is always good. And water, salt. Okay, key benefit. It restores your microbial balance after antibiotic use. A lot of why doctor prescribe a 3-day antibiotic and why you should follow also have its reason. You should always follow 3-day antibiotic. But after taking antibiotic, we ensure that you restore your gut microbiota. Again, lactobacillus bifidobacterium are not these kind of bacteria who will magically grow inside your intestine. Either you have to provide it food or you have to take it live to colonize your intestinal microbiome. It supports immune system. A lot of probiotics are linked to supporting your mental health. Those are called psychobiotics. It's an upcoming field. Psychobiotics are linked to influencing your serotonin production. Serotonin is good for your mind and sleep also. Then lactobacillus and bifidobacterium has been linked to improve cholesterol level, insulin sensitivity, and weight management. So I have given two examples because these two of bacteria are one of the most well studied in entire world. And fortunately or unfortunately, my topic in PhD also. So lactobacillus, two example is lactobacillus rhamnus GG. It's a very well known strain. It has proven to reduce traveler's diarrhea. What is traveler's diarrhea? Somebody comes outside Western region or Asian and then eating Indian street food. They are bound to get IBS. They will get upset stomach. Why? Because Indian street food is very rich in various kind of microbiomes. But same food we consume regular basis, nothing happens to us because we have been our gut has been inoculated with those kind of microbes, so it doesn't affect us. So that is called traveler's diarrhea, and lactobacillus rhamnus GG has been reported that it helps in that. Then lactobacillus bifidobacterium, it produces antimicrobial peptides, which reduces the chances of H. pylori infection. If you have time, look into what is H. pylori infection. It's one of the fascinating studies in that microgram. Then the second is bifidobacterium species, Bifidobacterium longum and Bifidobacterium breve. Bifidobacterium breve is one of the earliest bacteria alongside E. coli which colonizes a baby's intestinal system, and as we grow up, it gets replaced by Bifidobacterium longum. Bifidobacterium, as it colonizes early, it enhances fat metabolism and aids digestion, and B. longum reduces inflammation and supports digestion. Then there is other probiotic kind. One of this is Streptococcus thermophilus, usually linked to infection, but this is found in dahi, lassi, and buttermilk, which we regularly consume, and it doesn't do anything to us. Then is Saccharomyces gourdei. It is found in bread. This is a probiotic yeast which is known to prevent diarrhea. Then Bacillia is found in fermented rice batter, which is RTTs and dosa, and these are known to support our gut function. From these examples, as we can see, Indians always have a fermented food-based food ecosystem. We just need to tap into it. Okay, so global and Indian traditional food. Global is yogurt, Middle Eastern, rich in lactobacillus and streptococcus. Then kefir, a fermented milk drink, again Middle Eastern. Kimchi, Korean, Saure, Germany, miso, tempo, natto, kombucha. So as you can see, a lot of Middle Eastern and Asian countries have fermented food culture. Can anybody tell what is the reason of developing fermented food culture? Huh? No, because a lot of early colonizers or early human beings are around Asian and Middle Eastern countries. So when human beings settle down somewhere, they need to store food. what is the best way to store food? Fermentation. So that's why a lot of fermented recipes come from Asian and Middle Eastern countries. And if I switch to Indian, I can list down 150 more fermented foods. Northeast consists of 65% of it. So dahi, chaach, lassi, kanji, all fermented milk, but they have slightly different microorganisms based on our temperature, how we are preparing it. Then idli and dosa batter. And if we move to Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, this is called pokhal, or I'm not sure what is called in West Bengal. Then gundruk, northeastern India. It's a fermented mustard leaf which is rich in lactobacillus pyranthrum. Then again, Guwahati, Shillong, fermented bamboo shoot rich in lactobacillus and saccharomyces. And lacto-fermented pickles, mango, lemon, even Amla pickles have known and have been reported to be rich in lactobacillus pyranthrum. So it's not that we have to take supplements. We just need to incorporate this. Mostly this we may not incorporate kimchi because kimchi might work on Koreans, it might not work on us. So we just need to incorporate these based on our own choices of food system to get probiotics. Again, we are switching to prebiotics. What is prebiotics? If probiotic is like microorganism, prebiotic is food for those like microorganisms. So prebiotic is non-digestible fibers that promote growth of beneficial bacteria. Human stomach is very fascinating. It can digest everything, but apparently cannot digest complex carbohydrates. For that, we have made a MOU or a collaboration with bacteria. So these bacteria help us in non-digestible fibers. So if your MOU is not working or has expired, you might be suffering from IBS. So examples of these non-digestible fibers are fructooligosaccharides, galacto-oligosaccharides, and these are fancy scientific terms for the fibers already present in onions, garlic, asparagus is a western vegetable. Galacto-oligosaccharides, breast milk, which is also responsible for the early colonization of Bifidobacterium cricket. Inulin, rich in chicory root and bananas. Chicory root is a tuber which is eaten in most of North India. Then, what is the role of this prebiotic? It increases short chain fatty acid production and also known to support calcium absorption. Again, role in gut microbiota can be a long list, which if you are interested, you can look into it. But I am cutting short here. I am moving to already existing prebiotics, not in supplement form, which you can directly take from nature. So global are of course garlic and onion. A lot of cultures implement either garlic or either onion or both of them in their food system, either fried, fresh, pickled, or even consuming them on pizzas or any number of sauces. Then, if you move to Europe and Asia, there's leeks and asparagus, often rich in inulin and galacto-oligosaccharides. Then, chicory root, very popular in Europe also, rich in inulin, supporting bifidobacterium. Bananas are global, unripened, ripe, rich in resistant starch, a very powerful prebiotic. Then, oats and barley, Europe and American Middle East provide that beta glucose. And if you want to get beta glucose that support lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, we switch to ragi, barley, and other indigenous complex foods. If you move to Indian prebiotic, raw Kerala banana and plantain. Plantain was indigenous to South Africa, but now it's very commonly grown in South India. These are rich in resistant starch. Indian gooseberry, which is called amla, rich in polyphenols and fiber. Then methi, fenugreek seeds, or the shrub itself, is high in lactomannan fiber, which is a potent prebiotic. Then moving to whole grains, ragi, jowar, bajra. These provide fermentable fiber and resistant starch. Very useful for gut microbiome. And then we go to legumes, our chickpeas, moong, masoor, tur dal, any kind of legume which are commonly around in our own traditional household are good source of prebiotic. Then Triphala. Triphala is a term in Ayurveda I have written because it consists of amla, harki, and viviti. All three of it, if consumed together, it instantly increases your prebiotic fiber and polyphenols. And then isabgol is commonly known. I'm not sure what isabgol is called in Maharashtra, but Pycinium husk. It's a soluble fiber which promotes gut health. Then we go to postbiotics. So probiotics, prebiotics. If probiotics are like microorganisms, prebiotics are food for those like microorganisms. Postbiotic is when a probiotic eats a prebiotic, what happens, what it releases is postbiotic. Okay, so what is postbiotic? Metabolic byproducts of probiotics that provide health benefits without requiring live bacteria. So most of postbiotics currently not available in market but exist in traditional food system. I will give you example. It consists of metabolical byproduct which is short chain fatty acid, bacteriocins, exopolysaccharide. So for example, if we take postbiotics in form of supplement, so that because some people have less immune stability or they are sensitive to some kind of prebiotic or some kind of like gluten allergy, so they can take postbiotic. They just have to take these, which will instantly help them, but not necessarily trigger their allergies or trigger their immune function. It have health benefits again, as I said, anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Why anti-cancer? Because when we do chemotherapy, we essentially kill our human immune system completely and erode our gut bacteria. So we are very vulnerable. In that condition, postbiotics can be helpful. And these postbiotics are no emerging role in precision nutrition for IBD patients. These are some of the examples, but I will go into bioactive what is present. So as I said, it's already present in our food system. So global again, rice water. I think rice water is very common now because again as we follow trends. So I have seen some products which are used in I think face wash or something. I would suggest rather than taking them directly, rather using on your face. I think that way it will be much more useful. These are rich in short chain fatty acid and lactic acid. Then natto is fermented beans. It's a very specific kind of soya bean, which is rich in vitamin 2 and nattokinase. Again, it helps in cardiovascular health. Miso is again fermented bean, rich in SFAs, short chain fatty acid, peptides, and antioxidants. So what we are doing, we are removing the live bacteria here. We are keeping the metabolical byproducts here. So rather than eating the live bacteria, we are eating their byproducts. Then soy sauce. All of the Asian countries, Korea, Japan, China, their food culture is very rich in soy sauce. Why? Fermented soy sauce has all kinds of bioactive compounds, but no bacteria. Then kimchi juice. Again, kimchi brine, which is filtered, removing bacteria but keeping antimicrobial peptides and short chain fatty acid. Same goes for kombucha and saffron. So same products, what we are doing, we are removing the bacteria and keeping the byproduct. Good example in India is, I think I will not use it. Good example is fermented rice water. Again, not the Asian one, the Indian one, which is called Tokhar. It's very popular in West Bengal, Guwahati, and Odisha. What we do is it is overnight fermented in earthen pot, so it promotes bacterial growth. The bacteria releases a lot of metabolic products in its water. We consume that, so it helps in our gut barrier, providing us a lot of antimicrobial peptides and lactic acid bacteria. But at the same time, it doesn't burden our system with a lot of bacterial growth. Again, dahi and buttermilk are good examples. If we filter it and remove bacteria, we can still consume. Then kanji Kanji is a North Indian fermented carrot or beetroot drink. Same process, different name. Fermented bamboo shoot, lacto fermented amla pickle. Again, dokla, hanko, khaman, idli, dosa, very good examples of postbiotic. It is the bacteria grows, but when we are cooking it, we are killing of bacteria, keeping the metabolical byproduct. So it's functioning as postbiotic. I hope I'm not taking too much time. Now we are moving to commercial ones. Again, these commercial ones are may not be Indian based or may not be Indian microbiome based. The good example is Yakult, Lactobacillus casei shirota, and a very controversial example also because Lactobacillus casei does exist in our own system, but it is in low concentration. And even though it's very helpful in a lot of IBS and IBD in Japan and in other countries, it has been known to show no or very less effect on Indian people. Then a good example is Amul probiotic Dani. It's the latest product, I think released 2 years back, rich in lactobacillus acidophilus. Again, going to mother dairy be active, bifidobacterium bifidum, very low concentration in Indian gut microbiome, but good in Europe. Then, if I move, you can see a lot of products are coming outside from India, not inside. We are not making products which are based on Indian microbiome. So we need to fix this. I hope companies will focus on Indian gut microbiome. And if we go to again prebiotics, same. Even though isopol is something which Indian made, then triple chun is Indian made. All of these are Ayurvedic prebiotics which already exist, which we might not be familiar of it. All of postbiotic, a good example is gastric tablets and pudinhara. These, the process of fermentation and then converting into tablet is good, but again not effective. Even though they are categorized as postbiotic, it have very minimal effect. So we need to improve in this area. But if I move to global, just see how many products they have. They already have prebiotic, which is a mixture of FOS, GOS, and inulin. It helps them. Then berry fiber, now inulin prebiotic. All of these are well tested. All of them are produced in US. Some are produced in outside. But these are FDA approved prebiotics. Same goes for probiotics. Just see how many products are produced in US, France, and Japan, and they are globally sold because again in India gut microbiome study is limited and products are not based on it. And if you go to Immuse, it's a company called Kirin in Japan. It is a lactolactase plasma. So they ferment it and then collect it and they then provide those capsules for boosted immunity. And if I go down the list, you can see a lot of prebiotic, postbiotic formulation are outside India. So my whole point is, even though we have our own traditional knowledge about all these systems, we might not be familiar with system, but we are very familiar with how to make the and chant. We just need to educate our own population and own industry so we can beat these guys. At least I hope so one day. One of the interesting concepts I would like to introduce is symbiotics. Again, it's a combination of probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. Why? Because as I said, you cannot take individual bacteria. I ate Lactobacillus plantarum today, so I will be healthy tomorrow. That is not possible. So we need to incorporate it. So incorporation of probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics provide a synergistic effect. For example, idli. If a person is continuously eating idli, their gut microbiome or even a alternatively their gut barrier is much more balanced than a person who is either not having breakfast or not eating continuous kind of postbiotic. I'm not saying to eat these all time. I'm saying that you need to consume some kind of probiotic or postbiotic. What is symbiotic? Is a combination of probiotic, light microorganism, and prebiotic. Again, food for light microorganism. What it does, it provides two effects, both probiotic and prebiotic effect. So gut health, digestion, and immunity in all these areas It not only provides short chain fatty acid, but simultaneously it will also balance your gut microbiome with fight other bacteria or produce polyphenols. They improve the survival and colonization of probiotics. What I meant by this, as I said, bacteria cannot grow any food inside your stomach. For example, you took a drink of charge, you take lactobacillus, but after that you are not eating fiber. So to survive, for that lactobacillus to survive longer in your intestine, either you drink charge daily, but you need to take fiber along with it to stabilize it, to increase its count. Once the count is increased, then only it will be helpful for your microbiota. Example, Bifidobacterium, just be quiet, खत्म ही होने वाला है. Bifidobacterium lactis and FOS. So if we take Bifidobacterium lactis and FOS together, it will support our gut motility and digestion, and also support gut bacterial integrity and reduce bloating. Again, this combination is used in traveler's diarrhea. Either they are fed into in a solution. Okay, how we integrate probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. There is two types of integration or two types of symbiotics. One is complementary, which is the probiotics consumes prebiotic. For example, prebiotic yogurt. So in yogurt itself, there is a bacteria, there is lactose. So bacteria eats the lactose and produces polyphenol and short chain acid. So it's a complementary or either synergistic symbiotics. So prebiotics are selective to enhance that particular bacteria. In this complementary, the same probiotic when it goes inside, you can select other bacteria also or other prebiotic also. The lactobacillus inside the yogurt can eat other resistant starch, and the immunity present in that yogurt can be eaten by other bacteria. So that's why it's complementary. But synergistic is B lactis with GOS. So only B lactis can ferment or digest GOS. So this is designed to promote gut colonization of specific bacteria. That's why a synergistic symbiotic. So when we are developing these kind of products, we at least study what kind of effect this combination will cause. So mechanism of action, I won't go into detail because it's huge. I will just explain in short. Prebiotic nourishes probiotics. The probiotic eats prebiotic and it automatically provides all of the nourishment. The same principle applies to a huge amount of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium because their selection or digestion or consumption of any kind of disaccharide, polysaccharide is huge. So if it says lactobacillus, but the same lactobacillus can consume inulin, FOS, GOS, and other resistant bacteria, resistant starch. Then postbiotic enhanced probiotic function. For example, lactobacillus produces short chain fatty acid, which is biotate, acetate, and chlorobiotic. But biotate can be consumed by E. coli or Staphylococcus to further provide effects which is beneficial for immunity. So what does it does is it creates a chain reaction. So when bacteria eats something, produces something, that metabolic byproduct is eaten by other bacteria and so on. So this chain reaction will eventually strengthen your gut bacterial integrity, reduce inflammation and modulate immune response. Again, coming back to synergistic, if synergistic effect on digestion and metabolism, it's given in specific cases. A good example is IBS and IBD. We know IBS is caused by access of E. coli or access of particular bacteria. So what we do is we provide a single bacteria and a single inulin. We provide them so that it will compete with E. coli because E. coli cannot digest GOS, oligosaccharide, E. coli cannot digest. So eventually, in short period of time, Bifidobacterium lactis will colonize the intestinal barrier and E. coli will reduce. So helping in your adulterous diarrhea. So all this what happens is enhances immune function, supporting anti-inflammatory pathways, also gut barrier, brain access regulation, and pathogen defense. Okay, I've talked about a lot different concepts. Now the point is how do we integrate three major ways: AI and microbiome analysis. Metagenomics data created is huge. A lot of MD, and if you look into that data, it's beyond anybody's perception. So what we do, we build AI accordingly. So with AI and microbiome analysis, we can do personalized diet and supplement plans. We can do microbiome sequencing data, which all of these companies are already doing. These platforms are doing this. You just need to provide your data, and they will generate this. Then the second part is next generation probiotics. Now also we are not, for example, a person living in Maharashtra is not familiar with northeast fermented food. A person living in northeast or Shillong or Gangtok is not familiar with Maharashtra or at least the traditional fermented food. That knowledge exchange is need to happen. What will happen in that? In that we will come across a lot of bacteria which are not identified till now, and that can consider as next generation probiotics. For that, in next generation probiotics, we can consider precision probiotics because a scientist or a doctor with this amount of data can say that okay, you need this bacteria with this probiotic so that your specific disease can be prevented or your health can be supported. Again, CRISPR, it's one of the technology where you can edit genes. So lactobacillus acidophilus, if we edit it, it might function as two different bacteria at same time. So CRISPR editing, then precision symbiotics, same as precision probiotics. What we can do is we can select probiotic prebiotic combos. Combos can consist of postbiotic and psychobiotics, which can instantly colonize your gut and health. For example, this precision symbiotic is Artemisia multifida because it aids in weight loss. So now, rather than taking shots to improve your diet, you can just take supplements which are rich in this bacteria, and this is a proven bacteria. Microbiome-based therapies, Singapore or the National Institute of Singapore (NUS) have come across FMT. It's a fecal microbiota transplantation. So here what we do, we take a healthy gut microbiome from fecal of them and process it and then transport it to the a person whose intestinal barriers are so damaged that even though you can feed them a lot of probiotic, prebiotic, it won't help them. So we just sorry. Okay. Open the PPT. Okay, let me. Yeah, this one. Go to the presentation. Okay, I was on FMC. So here, what we do is we take fecal microbiota from a healthy person and transplant it like an organ transplant to a unhealthy person. Then probiotic-based drugs, which is also called pharma biotics, if I am not wrong. Here we are developing postbiotics and a solution which can be used as drugs, which can be directly injected. Then, as I said, microbiome and cancer therapy. A lot of cancer patients suffer from microbiome loss and immunity. Along with chemotherapy, if we could come up with microbiome therapy, this will also not only increase the chances of cancer patients surviving the entire process, but also improve their lifestyle. Okay, the future of gut microbiome. One of my favorite examples is wearable tech and gut health, because a company has developed a sticker which you can stick on your body and it will automatically check your glucose levels if you have diabetes, and it has micro needles, so it's an AI based. Once your glucose level drops or increases, it will automatically inject drug to your body. So all the pain which we have used to feel via injection is gone. So that is a good tech. Again, if similar kind of wearable and gut health, it's not on my side. Similar kind of tech. So similar kind of tech, if we can come across, which can study your biomarkers and instantly tell what kind of supplement or what kind of food you can consume based on your data, is very useful in our future. Then there is at-home microbiome testing kits. Now we have technology where you give your samples and they provide you a database. But that if it comes in a test kit, you inject your own sample and you get a generated data. That is a future we are looking forward to. An example is smart sensor. This is something one of the German-based company who is building it. It's a gut inflammation marker in real time. So what it does, it takes your blood samples, screen for metabolites which are produced after digestion, and check what are the levels, and then recommend diet or supplement or whether you need to go to see a doctor or not. So this is something we should be looking forward to. I would, I could summarize, all of this is gut health is essential. We can't ignore gut health in our overall human health, because gut health is related to not only digestion, it is starting from digestion to even mental well-being. Every gut microbiome is unique. Each person, each community, each nation is different. So we need personalized nutrition. It's not something arbitrary or fancy or trendy. It's something we will need in future. Then concepts like probiotic, prebiotic, postbiotic, symbiotics, it already exists. Now we are just defining them, or people have started defining them, so we can produce products around it. One of skin health, obesity and PCOS, three major diseases which are lifestyle based, are also strongly linked to gut microbiome. So if you could stabilize your gut microbiome, it might help you in all these three areas. I am giving three examples because these three are very common in India. Then AI-driven microbiome analysis and next-gen probiotics are future of gut health and precision nutrition. But it's something we need to start working from now. So these are all of the references. If anybody is interested, they can go through them. Thank you. After all this, this is the company I work for. So we are a service-based industry. So what we do is we partner with academia and industry. So for example, you can do antimicrobial analysis in your lab, but you want to do LCMS and you might not have testing. So what you do, you send us our sample, we provide you same analysis, same data interpretation, but cutting all of the buying $1 trillion machine. So that is what we do. So we are the first CRO in Northeast. We have two major labs. One is in Guwahati and one is in Pune. So both of them facilities work. We provide services in biotech and bioinformatics. Then we collaborate with multinational companies and smaller businesses. We also provide active training programs starting from microbiology, phytochemistry to bioinformatics. If somebody is interested in animal model studies, do contact us. In Pune branch, we have all these trainings. Then we provide tailor-made solutions for every kind of projects you can come across. We are DPP, BIP recognized. Then all these services, in silico, genomics, in vitro, biological, microbial, everything, even nutritional profile, we provide them. These are some of the in-house projects we have. As I said, I talk a lot of that microbiome because we are doing microbiome studies in one of the most polluted rivers in Guwahati. We are trying to understand their microbial diversity and study their industrial application and move forward with the sustainable development, whether these studies can reduce environmental pollution or not. Bihangam is our sister company. As mentioned before, this is a product which me and my company developed. We specialize in in-house product development and technology transfer. So, for example, if you have a technology and you want to take into a commercial setup, you develop something, so you can contact us. We will help you through the entire process and train you to go into a commercial platform, because coming from academia is very difficult to go into commercial platform. So thank you. And your gut microbiome is like a garden, nourish it well and it will take care of our body and mind. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session. It was truly enlightening session. It was quite evident about how passionate you are about probiotics and gut microbiome, and how Indian gut microbiome responds differently than the global gut microbiome, and why the awareness is very necessary. Now, I would like to call Dr. Vaishali Gargade ma'am to give a review about this.
And before that, I want to ask some questions.
Oh yeah, sure.
There is a session, like after the review, we are going to ask. So first I'll ask the audience, and then I'll speak. Before the review by the chairperson, anybody who has the questions they can ask.
How postbiotics useful in the treatment of cancer? How
Postbiotics. Okay. I think I'm audible.
Okay. In chemotherapy, what happens is it creates stress. A lot of when any kind of antibiotic, a single antibiotic can remove all of your gut microbiome if you take it less or if you take it more rather than the recommended dose. So that is a phenomena known to everyone. But in chemotherapy, you take a cocktail of a lot of strong harmful chemicals which are harmful for cancer cells but it also harmful for your gut microbiome. So in chemotherapy, in longer duration or even radiation therapy, what it does is essentially kill off your gut microbiome. So you lose the ability to colonize your gut microbiome entirely. So when you take postbiotics there is no live microorganism or prebiotic. It's just the metabolical product, which is short chain fatty acid, antimicrobial peptide, bacteriocins, vitamins, and other nutrients. So since your immune system is so vulnerable, so a simple E. coli or influenza infection might kill you. So in that we can't give them probiotics. Probiotics will be harmful. The same lactobacillus, which was very helpful for our health when we were healthier, will be harmful when you are undergoing chemotherapy. So in that case, you give a metabolical byproduct solution, which is called postbiotics. So it will have same effect, same stabilizing gut, improving your immunity, providing you with vitamins and nutrients and other immune boosting factors, but preventing from bacterial infection or any other kind of infection.
One more question.
Yeah.
In cancer, what happens? Inflammation increases.
Hmm.
And probiotics also responsible for trigger the inflammation. Please tell me specifically which strains of lactobacillus which are responsible for anti-inflammatory effect. Because a lot of strains of lactobacillus may trigger the inflammation.
Yeah, but we are not giving them lactobacillus. We are giving them postbiotics. Probiotics is live microorganism. Postbiotic is not live microorganism. It's the only metabolical product. Suppose inulin is digested by lactobacillus, then you kill the microorganism and filter it. The liquid which is remaining of a single short-chain fatty acid and vitamins and nutrition, that is given to cancer patients, not the live microorganism. Live microorganism cannot be given to cancer patients. Yeah, sure.
My question is related to postbiotics.
Yeah, sure.
Sir. Now, suppose I'm taking postbiotics and I have my gut microbiota. So, what is the measurement of the response microbiota to postbiotics? Which are used?
Okay. Our own microbiota might not respond to postbiotic because it's already a metabolic product. So, in case if you are taking any kind of postbiotic, what will happen is your body will automatically absorb the abundance of vitamin B12, which is present in a lot of fermented field of water. Your body will automatically absorb it. It will help your body, but not your gut microbiome.
Do I have those with something like that?
No, it might not. It might not. Any other question? Wait. Yeah.
Is it necessary to take the prebiotic if you eat a healthy diet with the fermented food?
How do you describe healthy diet with fermented food? We might think we are taking healthy diet with fermented food, but we might not. A lot of and with confidence I can say 98% of Indians do not take healthy diet with fermented food. Our lifestyle in past 10 years has changed a lot. Every single area, even in remote locations, you can find Maggi packets and Coca-Cola, Pepsi bottles. So we are not taking healthy diet with fermented. That's why we need to be aware of it. We need to educate ourselves why we need to go back to our traditional eating habit, why we need to remove processed foods, and I would say stop taking sodas, Maggies, chips, all of them are processed food. So recognize your own, in fact study your own food habits. That's how you know that you are introduced to the concept. Go again, go back to home, go Google it and see what are the products which are indigenously present and see how many products or how many times, for example, how many times you are eating dahi. I can confidently say weekly twice because that's the amount of lifestyle choices we are making. So go through it and check whether you are taking it. If you are taking it and if you are in those 2% of Indians, then you might not. But again, if you can, just analyze your own diet. It will be helpful for you. Pass the
I'm audible to all.
oh, okay, sure.
So basically, you told us the various aspects of gut micro. But my question is, how does the first microbiome develop into the human body, and at what age does it occur? Or develops?
When you were birthed in canal or by cesarean. Yeah.
How does
Your mother's microbiome is the first step of your microbiome. If someone who is going through cesarean, their gut microbiome, that baby's gut microbiome will be rich in streptococcus, which is not ideal. That's why cesarean babies are infections and everything. While vaginal births have lactobacillus bifidobacterium and later E. coli in their gut microbiome. So the moment you take birth, you are inoculated with microbiome. And as we age, as I said, bifidobacterium is the first microbiome or microbe with E. coli. But as we age, our food choices changes, and our gut microbiome get inoculated with what we interact. If we have a dog, we might have a gut microbiome which is similar to our dog, cat, even cows, our own soil health, water, everything. So first is your mother, so take care of her. And the question. Done? In short.
It's a very challenging to sequence all gut microbiome because it is a trillions of microbes. If I want to know my gut microbiome, so what is the technique or how I
For that, that's why I said create this scheme, actually opening up the platform to all of us. So now we have almost a significant amount of genetic makeup. So as we have a significant amount of genetic makeup, what we can, the next step is one of the companies I know in Mumbai and Pune called ICAR. What they are doing, they have a research project. They are taking volunteer gut. So either is a fecal sample or your gut intestinal sample. But these are taken from volunteers, not patients, healthy people who are living an optimal life, not very healthy, optimal life. So what we can do is the first step is to collect as many samples as we can do from as many as communities. For example, 100 people from Maharashtra, 100 people from Telangana, 100 people from Guwahati, and so on. So based on that, we can build a data set. So I won't say that we can sequence 2 billion people in India, it's not possible. But at least we have a reference data set. So for example, after I'm hoping 5 years, after 5 years, so if I want to know what kind of gut microbiome I have, it will have more accuracy because it will have an Indian reference. Now I can also get, now there are companies who are doing it, but the reference is outside, either Asian or Western. So after 5 years or 6, 7 years, we will have an Indian reference. So even though it might not be 100% accurate, but it will be 85% accurate that you have this gut microbiome. So rather than having 45% accuracy, I would say 85% accuracy is better.
Ma'am,
Where?
what are these things associated with taking high doses of probiotics?
Sorry, repeat the question.
What are the risks associated with taking high doses of probiotics?
Same risk when you take high doses of antibiotic. Everything in high dose is bad for your health. Again, you can take 100 to 50 ml of buttermilk and it will be good for you for your entire day. But same time, if you're drinking a 1 liter, 2 liter buttermilk, it will create bloating problems because it's lot of water, it's lot of salt, and it's a lot of vitamin C. So everything should be in balance. 250 ml buttermilk is okay. Anyone else or everybody?
Have E. coli is also present in all of this, so it is any harmful effects on.
Oh, ton of it. A lot of infection have E. coli. That's why I said it's an opportunistic bacteria. It is in large intestine. It's happy to live in large intestine. But the moment you get sick, in fact, you have a simple fever, you will have diarrhea associated with E. coli because it's an opportunistic bacteria. So to either maintain levels of it or health, we are taking probiotics. Anyone else? Yeah.
Is there any post-biotic product that can harm the health of human if it is about threshold value?
Yes. Okay. With postbiotics is the one of the major concern is it's not well studied. Traditional postbiotic is fine because we regularly eat, but taking it in supplement form is something which is not yet well studied. So I would never. In fact, no doctor will recommend you to take postbiotic supplements because it's not well studied. We still need to study how supplements of postbiotic or a particular concentration of biorate or particular concentration of polyphenol will function inside our body or in any kind of animal body. So we still need to gather a lot of data.
I think postbiotics are
for therapeutic purpose.
Yeah, not yet supplement. That's why I said not enough data. If you want to go into supplement, there are a lot of US companies are developing and they do have FDA approval. I won't say they do not, but again, same kind of thing might not. Yeah, therapeutic might, but I would. I don't think any kind of nutritionist would recommend if you take this kind of food post bio. Maybe in health. I think that's.
No other questions?
One last question. One last question.
We have one last question.
You talked about the relation between this biosis and obesity. So obesity is also caused due to the genetic factors. So are there any variations with respect to genetic variability and this biosis?
Not really. I won't say variation, but definitely a correlation. A correlation is such that because again the obesity data set which we currently have is based on US and Western Union. Their microbiome and our microbiome is very different. So their microbiome is directly correlated. Low fiber, low bacteria, so they can't process the amount of fat or amount of salt, sugar they are eating faster enough to metabolize, which is increasing their risk of dysbiosis, which is increasing their risk of what you say overconsumption. Because of course, if you are dysbiosis, then your appetite is not regulated, and a lot of sex. So this is also genetically related. So there is a lot of correlation. So I would say yes in some cases, but again, in Indian ecosystem, we need a lot of data set to confidently say, okay, this is the variation or this is the correlation.
Now I would like to call Dr. Vaishali Gargade to place her views on this session.
Hello, good afternoon to one and all. I'm very much thankful to organizing committee member of the Shivdare College for inviting me as the chairperson of this session. Again, I am very much thankful to organizing committee as well as the Priyanka Bharat ma'am for this nice topic that is personalized nutrition and gut microbiome. So, considering the today's lifestyle and diet of each and every person, it's very essential to create the awareness among this personalized nutrition and gut microbiome. Ma'am has very nicely introduced the nutrition of people and related diseases like type diabetes, obesity, and other kind of the health hazards and effects related to the even if this microbiome also affect the brain functioning of the brain, heart, and all these aspects. The prebiotics, postbiotics, as well as the probiotic, symbiotic to us. She gave us very nice message regarding the probiotic consumptions of the probiotic, that is do MOU with your probiotic and maintain MOU with your probiotic as a functional so that you can maintain your health and immunity of your body. And I am very much thankful on the organizing committee member for organizing such a nice sessions as well as the lectures to the people or audience. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, and our esteemed guests and fellow delegates, it's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks now. Firstly, I would like to thank Principal Sir, that is Dr. R.Y. Patil Sir, who is the Principal of DSCS Mandal's College of Pharmacy, Solapur, who has been a keen listener throughout the session. We are deeply grateful for Dr. Parni for sharing her expertise and insights in personalized nutrition and gut micro. I would also like to express my gratitude to our chairperson, Dr. Vaishali Gargade, for expertly moderating the session and ensuring a smooth flow of discussion. To our organizers, volunteers, delegates, students, and support staff, thank you for your timeless efforts in making the conference a success. Please join me in extending a warm round of applause to our esteemed guests and dignitaries as a token of appreciation for their contribution in this session. Thank you all, and now let's look forward for the next session. Thank you.